Friends, we are now going to take up a very important chapter, financial statements of not-for-profit organizations. Why it is an important chapter? Number one, it is almost certain that you will be getting a question from this chapter in the examination. Almost certain. Means in every exam you find a question from this chapter. In this chapter, the marks can be between minimum 5, maximum 15 marks, depending upon the difficulty level. There are few problems where they just ask you to do certain calculations and 1 or 2 ledger accounts. In such cases, the marks may be for 5 to 8 marks. Sometimes they ask you to prepare the financial statements of not-for-profit organization. That means a complete set of final accounts of a non-profit organization or a not-for-profit organization. Problems like this may carry even 15 marks in the exam. So therefore, friends, this is a very important chapter, very interesting, at the same time little bit challenging also. If you are conversant with preparation of final accounts, chapter 7, and you are clear about the various adjustments you have to do when you prepare final accounts of an organization aiming for profit, this is no different from that. Only thing, the way in which you present it or the statements that you prepare may vary, but otherwise conceptually the preparation of finance statement of a profit organization or not-for-profit organizations are one and the same. Then what will be the difference here? Very simple. What is the nature of these organizations? They are called not-for-profit organization. Any entity carrying on business would like to make profit. Their main objective is to make profit. Whereas there are certain organizations which render service to society without expecting any return. Service are of two types. Where we render service, we generate income. Here they render service for promotion of sports, arts, culture, or for providing literacy, or for welfare of society, or for a particular community of people, for a get together, for just providing them some benefits, but without getting anything, without expecting anything in return from them. In other words, these organizations do not have the objective or motive of profit. For example, we have non-governmental organizations. We have the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. We have educational institutions. We have universities, colleges, libraries. We have various clubs. We have different societies. We have the organization which manage the temples. There are churches. There are organizations of Muslim community which render service to them. They don't aim at making any profit. So we are going to look at how to prepare the financial statements of such organization. So the main difference between these two, profit or a non-profit organization, is a profit organization aims at making profit, whereas a not-for-profit organization does not have an objective or intention or aim to make profits. That is a conceptual difference. But even a not-for-profit organization may end up making a surplus. Nothing wrong about that, because suppose a company is started for making profit, they may make a loss also. So what is important is, what is the intention? For what purpose, for what objective these organizations were founded and carried on. So, not for profit organizations or for the welfare of the society or for a particular community or a club or for arts, culture, sports and so on, intention is not to make any profit, intention is to develop these kind of activities. So, in such organizations, how to prepare the financial statements, that is the objective, that is this chapter. You might ask me, sir, they are not for profit, then why do you prepare a final accounts? See, whether the organization's intention is to make profit or not, they are receiving money from various people, they are incurring expenditure for the purpose of the society or the club. Now, from where you got the money, whether the money that you received from the public was used properly, effectively utilized for that purpose or not, you are interested in knowing, is it not? So, therefore, and since public money is taken in the form of donation, sometimes government gives grants or subsidies for these kind of organizations. You get funds from foreign countries also for these kind of organizations. And when you get money from others, you are accountable to keep proper accounts of whatever you are doing, and of course, at the end of a certain accounting period, you are supposed to provide the details of what happened during the particular period. This is not for the purpose of evaluation of your wealth or to analyze your performance. Here there is no need to analyze the performance because there is no intention to make profit, but whether your income that you got is sufficient to cover the expenses or whether expenses are more than income, whether the organization has created sufficient wealth in order to be able to serve the society, So, basically these are the things we have to see from financial statements of not for profit organization. Okay. So, let us see certain problems from this chapter. Initially, I will do some small problems where small calculations, preparation of few ledger accounts are there. The first 3 problems will be like that. After that, I am going to take up 4 big problems, complete set of financial statements of not for profit organization. That is how we have designed this chapter. Let us get into the learning unit number 1. In that unit number 1, you have taken one problem, question number 1. Let us read out the question first and try to solve this. During 2020, subscription received 66,000. It includes 3,300 for 2019 and 2,600 for 2021. Rupees 15,000 is outstanding for 2020. Calculate the subscription income for the year 2020. Prepare the necessary ledger accounts for the year 2020. So, what is the objective here? We have to find out what is the subscription income for the year 2020. Year here it means the calendar year starting from January 2020 ending on 31st December 2020. So, unless they say financial year, year should be taken as a calendar year. So, for the calendar year 2020, what is the subscription income? We have to calculate that. Remember, income is different from receipt, is it not? When you receive any money from others, you record it in the cash book. You do not see whether it is pertaining to this year or last year or next year. But when you prepare the financial statements or the final accounts of any entity for a particular year, then the concept of accrual has to be followed. Here they are asking you to calculate the subscription income for the year 2020. So, whether the money is received in this year or not. If it is income for the year, that will be recognized in the final accounts of that particular society or the club. Similarly, in the particular year, you might receive subscription pertaining to last year. or pertaining to next year. Even though you received it, it cannot be construed as income for this year. So, what they have given in this problem? During this year, they have received a subscription of 66,000. Can you take this as income for the year? No. It includes 3,300 for the last year, 2,600 for the next year. That means it is not income of this year. We have to eliminate it, we have to reduce it. Whereas on the contrary, 15,000 is outstanding for the year 2020. This is income for the year but not received. Whether you receive it or not, if the income pertains to the year, it has to be shown as income in the income and expenditure for that year. So, when you are asked to determine the income or expenditure for a particular year, what we should do? If any income or expense pertains to another accounting period, that has to be eliminated. If an income or expense pertains to this year but has either not been paid or received, even though you have not paid or received it, you have to add it to the income of that year, and you have to present that as the income for that particular year. That is what we have to do here. Prepare the necessary ledger accounts for the year 2020. What are the necessary ledger accounts? Number 1, you are talking about subscription income. Therefore, you have to open subscription income account. You have subscription outstanding account, subscription arrears account, subscription receivable account, subscription due account, all mean the same. Subscription which has not been received, it may pertain to this year or last year, you have to prepare that account. Subscription due account, subscription receivable account you have to open. In this problem you find you have received some subscription pertaining to next year. So, better open subscription advance account. Remember, subscription income account is a nominal account. It will be taken to the income and expenditure account of that year, whereas subscription arrears or subscription receivable or subscription due is an asset account. What has not been received at the beginning of this year, end of the year will be there. That has to be considered while you calculate the income for that particular year. Subscription advance is a liability. Next year's income you receive this year itself. That means you are yet to render service, you are obliged to render service in the next year, but you have received the money now. Therefore, such amount received in this year pertaining to next year shall be taken as a liability. So, 3 ledger accounts you have to prepare. What are they? Subscription income account, which will be ultimately transferred to the final account, that is income and expenditure account. Subscription arrears or due account, that is an asset account, that will go to balance sheet. Then subscription advance account, that is a liability, that also will go to the balance sheet. So, in this problem we are going to do number 1, calculation of subscription income. Then number 2, preparation of 3 ledger accounts: subscription income account, subscription receivable account, subscription advance account. That is what we are going to do. We will do the solution in the Excel sheet. So, let us go to Excel sheet to see how the solution is done for this problem. Yes friends, let us now see how to solve the problem number 1. As I explained to you while we are discussing the question, the first thing is to find out what is the subscription income for the year. How to find the income for the year? Whether the subscription is received in this year or next year or last year. If that pertains to this year, it is income for this year. In other words, we have to follow the principle of accrual. That is all, simple, is it not? But during a particular year, you might receive subscription for the last year, for the next year and all. On the contrary, subscription for this year you may not have received. So, what we should do? If the subscription received in this year includes last year's and next year's, you have to reduce it. Subscription for the year, if it is not received, you have to add it. So, in this problem, what is a subscription received we are going to calculate the subscription income for the year. So, what is received? First of all, subscription received equal to 66,000 rupees. It is given in the first line. But the problem tells you it includes 3,300 for 2019, that is last year. Therefore, what you should do? You have to reduce it, which is 3,300. Similarly, this 66,000 includes subscription for the next year 2021, that is also not income for the year, hence you have to deduct that also, less subscription for the year 2021, which is 2,600. So, we have eliminated subscription received in this year, but pertaining to last year and next year. On the contrary, subscription for the year 15,000 is still outstanding. Whether you receive it or not, you have to add it and show it as the subscription income in the income and expenditure account. Therefore, add. Subscription due for the year 2020 is 15,000 rupees. So, now we will get what is the subscription income for the year received minus subscription for the last year minus subscription for the next year, add subscription due for this year, received or not, we have to take it. When you do this calculation correctly, you will get the subscription income for the year, which is 75,100. So, friends, we have calculated the income for the year, but the question asks you to prepare the necessary ledger accounts also. For calculating this, maybe you will get 2 marks. Another 2 or 3 marks may be given for preparing the necessary ledger accounts for the year 2020. What are the necessary ledger accounts? As I told you, you have to prepare 3 ledger accounts. Subscription income account, the net result will be taken to income and expenditure account. Subscription due or arrears account, which is an asset account. Then subscription advance account, which is a liability account. So, 3 ledger accounts you are going to prepare now. And whenever you prepare an asset or a liability account, there will be an opening as well as a closing balance. This opening and closing balance has to be transferred to the income account, and whatever was received in this year will be recorded in the subscription account. Now, the difference in the subscription account, the balancing figure will be the actual subscription income to be taken to income and expenditure account. That is what we are going to do now. So, let us now go to the ledger accounts. What are the ledger accounts you have to prepare? As I told you, subscription account, which is income account, subscription outstanding account, that is asset account, then subscription advance account, that is liability account. Now, the first thing is, when you open an asset or a liability account, is there any balance? Yes. 66,000 received in this year includes 3,300 for the last year. That means, at the beginning of this year, that is on 1st January 20, there was an opening balance of rupees 3,300 in the outstanding account. Since it is an asset, it has a debit balance, we take it to the debit side. At the end of this year, that is 31st December 2020, there is a balance in the subscription due account, which is 15,000 rupees given in the question that you put here. So, opening balance is 33, closing is 15,000. Similarly, in the subscription advance account, is there any opening balance? Nothing, not given in the question. But we have a closing balance, because in this year, you have received 2,600 for the next year. That means it is a liability as on 31st December 2020. So, the 2,600 that you received in this year pertaining next year will be shown as a liability. It will be shown as a credit balance in the subscription advance account. So, where will you show that? On 31/12/20, the closing balance in the subscription advance account is 2,600. So, that is the first step. Open the necessary ledger accounts. In the asset and liability account, put the opening closing balances. That is all. Now, in the income account, what we should do? This 3,300 outstanding at the beginning of the year was received in this year. Therefore, we have to transfer this to the subscription account. On which date? On the opening date itself. So, therefore, transfer this 3,300 to subscription account. What is the entry? Subscription account debit to subscription outstanding account, 3,300. So, therefore, in the subscription account on 1st January 2020, we have to debit the subscription account to subscription outstanding 3,300. See, this is the debit, this is the journal entry. Subscription account debit to subscription outstanding account. So, in other words, the outstanding at the beginning of this year is received in this year. So, we transfer that to subscription account. Why I am debiting subscription account? Because it is received in this year, but does not pertain to this year. We have to reduce it, is it not? So, when I debit subscription account, it results in decrease in the subscription amount. Only balance will be taken to the income and expenditure account of this year. Number 1. Number 2. What is the subscription received in this year? How much you have received in this year? It is given in the problem that we have received totally 66,000. So, what is the entry for that? Cash or bank account debit to subscription account. Total 66 received. That includes the 3,300. That is why I am debiting it. Okay. At the same time, this includes this 2,600 also received in this year, but pertaining to next year. So, what we should do? We have to transfer this to the subscription account. What is the entry? Subscription account debit to subscription advance account 2,600. So, credit subscription advance account, debit subscription account at the end of the year. So, debit entry you put to subscription advance 2,600. At the end of this year, that is 31st December 20, subscription outstanding is 15,000. That is income for the year but not received. It is not included in this 66,000. But because it pertains to this year, whether you receive it or not, it should be regarded as income for this year. Therefore, this also should be transferred to the subscription account. What is the entry for that? Subscription outstanding account debit to subscription account 15,000. So, you are creating an asset at the end of the year. Debit subscription outstanding, credit income account subscription. So, put this entry on 31/12/2020 by subscription outstanding account 15,000 rupees. So, if you do this correctly, friends, the outstanding account will tally. And what will be the opening balance in the subscription outstanding account for next year? So, on 1/1/2021, the opening balance of subscription outstanding account will be 15,000. Similarly, in the subscription advance account also, we will have a closing balance, which is 2,600 already given. That will be the opening balance for the next year. So, on 1/1/2021, by balance brought down will be 2600. So, when you do the accounting correctly and carefully, this is how it will appear. So, the opening outstanding 33 received in this year transferred to subscription account. Closing outstanding not received but income of this year transferred to subscription account. During there you received 2600 subscription for the next year. So, you have to debit subscription account, credit advance account, that will be the closing balance. At the end of the year, the subscription outstanding is 15,000, which is opening balance for next year, and advance is 2600, which is opening balance for next year. So, now we have completed two ledger accounts, subscription outstanding account, that is asset, advance account, that is liability. But the most important one is the subscription account. What will you get from this? From this account you will get what is the actual subscription income for the year. Okay? So, on the one side you can determine the income by just a calculation. Sometimes they ask you to prepare the ledger accounts also. Both you will get the same answer. Let us see. What is the total in the subscription account? 81,000. So, put this on the other side also. Now, the difference, if any, which is the balancing figure, that is the actual subscription income to be taken to income and expenditure account. How much is that? 75,100. 81,000 minus 3,300 minus 26 will get you this. What is this? This is the subscription income for the year to be transferred to income and expenditure account. That is why I put it inside a box. This is the balancing figure. Now, whether this is correct or wrong, how will you find out? We have already done the calculation. What is the subscription income for the year? Let us see whether that is also same. See, same number. Whether you do a calculation or you prepare a ledger account, you will be getting the same answer. So, in order to clarify, I have done both. I have done the calculation also, I have done the ledger account also. So, 2 marks for the calculation part, probably 1 mark each for each ledger account. So, this problem may carry around 5 to 6 marks maximum, that is all. So, it is very, very important. Though it appears to be a simple problem, an adjustment on subscription is an integral part of every problem on non-profit organization. As we go forward, next question, you will understand that there is no problem without subscription, particularly for NPOs. So, friends, that is why I did this as the first problem. Please try to understand carefully, and like that you can do many problems. How to do many problems like this? You can simulate the numbers. Say I have given 66,033 like that. You can change the numbers and try as many problems as possible for good practice, so that when you go to the exam, you come across a problem like this, you can finish it off in 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, you get 5 marks. That is a wonderful way to get marks in the examination. I am sure that we are able to understand the answer for this question. Friends, we have done the solution for problem number 1. I hope it was very simple one and you understood that. We will see much more difficult problems in the upcoming sessions.